So Artak's supposed to be one of the best free champions we ever received in Raid Shadow Legends. Of course, we summon him instantly. Welcome to the channel. Let's jump straight into it. Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Finally, we've put our hand on Artak, Galax's father, the new 7-day login champion. We're curious to see what he can do. Probably that's why you guys are here. And as usual, I'm gonna drop a video as soon as I put my hand on the champion. It's actually past midnight in UK right here, but guess what? Dedication. That's what I'm calling it. So if you guys find the content helpful, consider subscribing. I'm dropping daily content on Raid, tons of different guides. We're trying all sorts of crazy things. Plus, it really helps the channel out. Smash a like. Turn on all notifications. But that being said, Artak, guys, we finally got him. Now we're gonna do a few different builds. We're gonna test him in a couple of different areas. This build right here doesn't have books either, so we're gonna book him only after. I'm gonna assume that the majority of you guys that will get the champion won't have the books to throw them in him, and you're gonna want to know what exactly he can do without books. But with the A1, AoE has a chance to extend the HP burn duration. That's why he is on a stun set at the moment. This is more of a general use for dungeons. If you want to use him in the Doom Tower, Faction Wars, he's gonna do an amazing job in all that content with this build that we currently have on, and he's not even built for damage. I'm gonna explain you why in just a second. With the A2, Dogs of War on a 4-turn cooldown attacks all enemies. Before attacking, instantly activates any HP burn debuffs on each enemy. Has a 75% chance of landing decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Then we have Purifier, attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Restores this champion's destroyed max HP by 10% for each HP burn debuff placed by the skill. Heals this champion by 5% of their max HP for each HP burn debuff attempt, blocked, or resisted by the enemy team. Pretty interesting. Now, his multipliers are nothing crazy. Don't expect him to just go in and start smacking tons of people, but he does have fairly decent multipliers. I think he's a 0.25 and 0.21 on the A2 and A3, so nothing too spectacular. The passive Burning Blood, whenever a HP burn debuff is activated, destroy this champion's max HP by 5%, stacks up to 50%, increases this champion's damage, crit damage and defense by 1% for each 1% of their destroyed max HP. Also increases this champion's speed and resistance by 2 for each 1% of their destroyed max HP. So this can be a bit tricky, especially for clan boss. It's gonna be extremely hard to tune him in unkillable teams. Not impossible, but it's gonna be pretty hard. So when we are gonna showcase him in clan boss, we're just gonna chuck him around with some other champions and see what he can actually do in terms of damage. At the moment, I have him on a stun set, an immortal set. I haven't went all in for crit rate because I wanna use him in the spider, and if we do a lot of damage, we kill the spiderlings, so that's a no-no. We cannot do that. But basically, total stats on him at the moment: 78k HP, 3.2k defense, 204 speed, 300 accuracy. This is enough for Doom Tower hard mode as well. His stats in terms of survivability are not that crazy, especially in terms of HP, but fairly decent all around. In terms of masteries, we got offense and support 3. War Master as tier 6. This does help us on bosses, especially on the spider dungeon. If you are going against the waves in the Doom Tower, this is gonna be pretty helpful too. Of course, a Cycle of Magic, Sniper, Master Hexer. Because we don't have books, all this is actually gonna benefit the champion quite a bit. In terms of gear, guys, it's nothing too crazy on it. I haven't really prioritized any specific things. Yes, we do have HP gloves, HP chest piece. I wanted to use a couple of refresh accessories on him because why not? It's definitely going to help us in dungeons and other areas like that. That being said, let's head over to the Spider's Den and see what we can do with him there. So we're not gonna do hard mode, guys, because I don't have many other champions to set up a team for it based on HP burn detonation and things. But this champion can be a great replacement for champions like Theodore, champions like CCF Flametongue for the Spider's Dungeon. So basically, you just need to bring in another HP burner in here if you want to use the same sort of strategy. You need a freeze, you need a Cold Heart to do some damage, a champion to reset the skills, and then of course you're gonna have the HP burn detonation, which is gonna work pretty much like this. You're gonna get to see it in action. Plus we're gonna see the animations as well, because we didn't really check that just yet. Kymar taking a turn, we're bringing down the Spiderlings, HP burn from Venus, Cold Heart dropping in some damage, freeze from the rest, detonate the HP burn, and bang! The Spider Queen is just dead. We've just melted the Spider Queen. Now, how you've noticed, you've seen that Cold Heart went first at the very beginning, and then Artak literally overpassed Cold Heart on the second turn. And that's mainly because of his passive. So his speed is 204, right? My Cold Heart is actually fairly fast, 234, so we have 30 more speed than him, and he got to move in front of Cold Heart because of his passive. All the speed that he gained from the max HP destroyed on himself, basically, you know. So that's actually pretty any Let's do another run just so you guys can have a better look at it. Of course, Venus can be replaced pretty much by any other champion that will drop HP burn AoE. Ignatius is the best candidate for it because he cannot be resisted, so that will make your run way more efficient than this. We just got resisted on 2 different Spiderlings, so that's gonna be a bit slower. Not impossible, just slower, you know. We actually had a refresh accessory proccing in there, so that might actually come in hand here, you know, just to detonate more HP. But you see, 232k per detonation per target is actually very solid damage. We just used the other skill where we landed the HP burn and we managed to do the cleanup. But basically, Artak has a 1.1 million damage. It shows Crypt King Graal with 5.7, Venus with 3.7, but that's because he detonated the HP burn instead. You know, that's kind of like how it goes. So we're gonna keep that ring, because why not? Let's head over to the Dragon Slayer and see if he's useful in there as well. So we're gonna try him on stage 24 because he's not weak affinity like on stage 25. We just put in some random champions with him in there. Let's see how he's gonna perform, especially on the waves. I'm very curious to see if he's gonna deal some serious damage in there, considering that we haven't put him on a damage build. And that's because if you are running him on the Spider like we just did before, and I would assume the majority of you guys will do that because, hey, he's such a powerful champion to do the job in there. But check out all those stuns that we got from him already, man. Like, we already got 4 stuns, and we don't even have Fearsome Presence as tier 6 mastery. Just having 3 AoE attacks are literally making 100% sense. Is a no-brainer to put him on a stun set if you're progressing through the game. Like, that's how you want to play him if you're doing progression at the moment, you know. Like, he's just so powerful. Very curious what sort of damage we're gonna get at the ending here, you know. I do have a husk, just kind of like a bit of a backup in here, but still. Let's see. Where are we? A few weak hits here and there, which are not a problem whatsoever. Okay, that Spirit Host needs to go down. Needs to get stunned. Can we make it happen? Let's see. Okay, no stun on her. Actually, Husk came in and saved the situation with the stun from there. A cheeky stun, but he managed to land 2 before, so that's definitely pretty good. Okay. You see that the damage on its own is still fairly decent, considering that he's not built for it, you know. Like, he does crit quite a bit as well, and the detonation, that's what really makes up the damage for the champion. And the passive, which I'm very curious to try in Clan Boss and Hydra, of course, but we're gonna do that later on. We're gonna book him before we move over to Hydra. Like this, you've seen what he can do on waves. He works on the Spider Dungeon without books. If you're looking to detonate the HP burn with him, of course, you will require a different champion to land the HP burn. just to make the run as fast as it was. If no, you can run the spider dungeon with him on its own plus other champions that are gonna tank for him, like an ultimate death knight if you have that, maybe a shield champion or stuff like that, and use the HP burn skill first, then take the next turn and use the detonation. That's gonna work pretty well as well on the spider, but not as well as if you would have a different champion to drop the HP burn before. Not as fast anyway, you know. But here we go. Landing the HP burn, increasing the duration of the HP burn, detonating the HP burn, and constantly going in a circle with it. It allows you to keep that HP burn up pretty much all the time, and that's actually a very, very good thing. So here we are. Stag Knight 1 million, Artak 2.2 million, Husk 2.3 million, and is an enemy max HP. So very, very solid in terms of damage. Let's actually quickly book the champion, guys, because once we book him, we're gonna go all the way to Hydra, right? So upgrade skills, and where is Artak? There we go. You see no books in him. Now he becomes so much better for waves, for clan boss, Doom Tower. He's kind of like at a different level now. Just having all the skills on a shorter cooldown with a 100% chance to land the decrease attack, the HP burn, so much better. But before we move over to Hydra, of course we have to change the build on him, because this was a decent build. For Hydra, we don't want to have the stun set. It's not going to be helpful at all. You can run, if you want, a provoke set. That can be an option, but I still prefer to go on a relentless, just because he's going to bring in so much damage. So I'm actually quickly going to look to try and steal some of the gear, maybe from a Husk or something like that. That will give me pretty much damage, will give me everything that we need to get on him, you know. So let's have a quick look. We don't want to have the attack there. It is not really gonna help us. This is not a bad weapon from Acrisia. You know what? Let's just steal everything from from everyone. Let's just give them to him. Let's just give them all to him, you know, and see what he's gonna do after. Fairly decent helmet as well. This is good too. So let's just crack on it with it like this. Or this is actually better from Acrisia. We might actually just pinch the gear from Acrisia if we are able to do it. It seems like we might need a different shield to bring more crit rate in. We wanna be spot on with that. Speed wise, I do have my Supreme Gallic at around 240, 230 speed. So we kind of like wanna make sure we are gonna be in that range, just to be spot on if we're kind of like gonna compare the champions. Of course, one is an attack based, one is a HP based champion, but that's still not an issue, you know. It shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So maybe we get some better gloves. These ones right here, they look fairly decent. And actually these ones, so we have the ones from Razelvark. Let's give them to him. And now we're actually gonna look for a HP chest piece. I'm not even sure what we have available, but let's put speed and crit rate. We're already actually fairly fast, so maybe having that speed on is not a necessity anymore. We can probably go with a perception or even a regular accuracy set. Like this is pretty nasty. So let's see, speed. We want to get speed here, you know, that's speed boots and crit rate on them. Do we have anything like that available? Yeah, we do have these. We're getting the accuracy. The crit damage is pretty low, but we gotta change the amulet. The HP on him is not that high at the moment, so maybe we're gonna find something better. Please roll me HP. Oh, beautiful, but it's flat HP. So we're gonna have to go in and check some of the other things in there, but this is what we've got so far. Plenty of accuracy on. Let's see. So this is defense. We have HP percentage on it. This is an HP amulet, so we're gonna drop some of it in there. We want to get a crit damage one, you know, so let's just go in there. Maybe we have a refresh one. Yeah, I have one on a Gallic, so let's just take that on him. Beautiful. And maybe we're gonna find a better accuracy banner to have more HP. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, I hate that they've put these priority stats on top of primary stats. Like, I hate it with passion. I don't know how much you guys are hating it, but I can tell you that I hate it with passion, honestly. So annoying always to click on that thing. Always. Okay, speed, defense, HP. fairly decent, but that doesn't give me more HP, so we're gonna take this in. We're gonna throw in a couple of glyphs. Masteries are just fine the way they are. We don't really need to have a tier 5 sniper on it, so we could potentially change that one. But honestly, we're not really getting anything better instead of it, you know. So just for the purpose of the build right now, we're not gonna bother to change that, because honestly, it's not really gonna make a difference, you know. So here we are. Masteries, you see, we kept them the same. I would change this, but the best thing you can get on is Spirit Haste. This won't really help you whatsoever, and these are fine, the Masteries, when we are talking about Hydra clan boss. Total stats on him: 65k HP, 2.6k defense, 228 speed, 101 crit rate, 251 crit damage, 336 accuracy. We're gonna go on Hydra Brutal. I gotta say, his HP is a bit low at the moment. Like, I would definitely like to have more HP on him if I want to see some damage out of him. But we're gonna have to keep him like this. Even when you are building your ninja, you're not gonna go full crazy on attack only. You're gonna prioritize some other stats as well. So I just replaced Supreme Gallic in this team. I usually run this team with Supreme Gallic. If the saying is true, like father, like son, we're gonna be well impressed in terms of damage. I actually saved a screenshot with Supreme Gallic instead of him that I've done today. So we're gonna check that out at the end. I'm very curious to see how they compare, father and son. Land the HP burn, beautiful. Okay, I gotta target the head of decay because the AI is so bad. Husk is just not gonna use the A1 on the head of decay to provoke it here. It's pretty annoying that they just don't go to do their own thing, basically, you know. But the passive on the champion comes in handy pretty good to get the extra stats, you know. They're definitely very helpful, and just being able to detonate the HP burn again, very nice. This is my arena Duchess actually, so she's not as fast as she should be. So we might get a cheeky fear every now and then. But very curious to see how the damage compares towards the end of the run, you know. Let's see a couple of more hits from him. I'm curious to see how he compares with the enemy max HP nukers with husks. Like, these husks are just melting as well, you know. Okay, so we landed a decreased attack. We didn't have HP burn on. I'm pretty sure I prioritized him to use the A3 before. There we go. So he actually used it. Now, the one thing that can happen here, guys, is when we have strong affinity, you know, like we have the head of decay, that can be annoying. But if we don't have that on, we should be pretty good, I think. So there we go. HP burn. Nice. Landed on everyone. That's good. As long as we keep the head provoked, we should be more than fine. But we got feared again. Not necessarily the biggest issue. Extra turn after we used A1. So we should have the detonation available. Okay, HP burn up again. We're actually melting the heads. It's pretty impressive. But the husks help a lot as well. But I'm just curious to see the damage if we compare them, because you know what? Most of the people think that the enemy max HP champions deal the highest damage. Yes, I'm not talking about Acrisian here, but I'm talking about Husk, Royal Guard. There are actually quite a few other champions that do HP burn and the detonation that do more damage than the enemy max HP, and Supreme Gallic is one of them. And I'm pretty convinced that his papa is gonna be the same, you know. Like, there we go, we landed the HP burn on, ready to rumble. The only thing is that now he's gonna use that again instead of detonating it. Yeah, I knew it. No extra turn either, but we are safe and sound. We're just wrecking everything in here. Turn 25, 10 million damage. Definitely nothing to complain about. Like, the damage is pretty good, you know. We don't have decreased speed on the head, so that's a bit of a bummer. Supreme Gallic kind of like brings that, but he brings in different things. Like, when he detonates, the HP burn is not similar with Supreme Gallic. Supreme Gallic won't be that great for the Spider dungeon, for example, while Artak is an absolute monster in there too, and he's just gonna be so powerful here in Hydra too. I'm not gonna leave the entire run, guys. I'm gonna fast forward towards the end because I do want to check the total stats after, and I want to show you guys what Supreme Gallic did as well. His little son, you know. So I'll be back in just a minute. So near the end, guys, I'm gonna stop it at 1 keys. Literally no point to go more than that. 78 turns, we almost 1 keyed. Now, one thing that I kind of like dislike about him is that he constantly uses the A2 when we don't have HP burn on. And it's not necessarily the biggest problem if you have a different HP burn champion on to ensure that you're always landing the HP burn so he actually gets to detonate some. But I feel like because of the decreased attack that he brings in, that kind of like causes him to do it, you know. Other than that, it's pretty good. The passive allowing him to ramp up a bit of extra damage. It's not gonna be like extremely crazy like Ninja's passive, for example, where you're just ramping up tons and tons of damage, because once his max HP gets destroyed, the coding is a bit different than it's from Taras and from other champions, you know, so it's not gonna benefit as much from it, but it's still decent in terms of damage. What I really care to see is the total damage here, you know. Let's see. I know I stopped at 31 million before. I'm gonna do exactly the same. Just to be fair, you know. Okay, there we go. We use that skill again, and battle. Let's see his total damage. So we have Husk number 1, 9.3 million. Husk number 2, 9 million. Artak, 11.9, so almost 12 million damage. And I can guarantee you that during this run, we had so much bad RNG with the fears on him. Every single time the fear stopped him from taking a turn, which made him lose a skill. Him using the A2 quite often without having the A3 go before it. Again, it made a big difference all around. So if I'm quickly gonna bring the screenshot with his son on, because why not? Let's check that out as well. You're gonna see that is actually pretty different. Wait, that was not the one. This is the one. So Gallic dealt 14.6 million damage. So 2 extra million damage, 2.7 million damage extra. But I feel like the RNG was quite a big factor in it all around, guys. That was pretty much everything for Artak. I'm not gonna take him in the Doom Tower waves because he's gonna perform in the exact same way you guys saw before on the Dragon and the other locations. If you have the stun set for him, I'm gonna do a different video for the clan boss just so we can actually check him properly in there. But that was all for this video. Much love. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.